Kamala Harris cracking herself up again while telling an oddly specific story from her childhood that may or may not have happened, and insulting Republicans in the process.
I'm going to share with you a very simple story, which is that I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Jimmy Failure, Fox Across America, Fox News Radio, and he's got a special he's going to talk about in a moment. But first,
leave it.
How do you explain that?
Well, it's kind of stunning to believe that Vice President of the United States is the only job in America you can get if you cackled for no reason during a conversation. Think about it. If you hired a babysitter and you're like, yeah, we're going to go to a dinner and a movie, and she was like, ha, 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 that's great. You'd be like, you know what, we're going to stay home.
Yeah, I think so.
But videos like that are why Joe Biden could fall 7 times on the way up the stairs today, and no one's going to talk about replacing him with Kamala. Like, he could specifically be telling reporters he was Batman, okay? He's going to be the guy at the top of the ticket if she's the alternative. When we were kids, Brian, growing up in Levittown, my parents used to scare us into eating our dinner by saying if we don't eat our dinner, mean Aunt Fran's going to come take charge. That's how the Bidens scare Democrats. Like, if you don't nominate Joe, dumb Aunt Kamala is going to come take charge.
And why was she put there? For equal opportunity reasons.
Yeah.
And now they say who's going to remove her and how are they going to look? She has to leave herself.
Yes, well, they're going to have to speak to her in a language she can understand. They're going to have to say, Kamala, it's time to get going to where you've been going because we've got to do what we keep doing, and that time is today.
And that makes total sense.
And she's like, all right, I'm out of here.
So listen, I'm really excited because you take on Hollywood to make sure you're never going to be in a major movie.
That's what this is about.
This is about destroying any chance of you becoming a mega movie star. It's going to keep you in news. Tell me about the brand new special, Death of Hollywood.
So The Death of Hollywood, the 4-part documentary, it's streaming now on Fox Nation, and it kind of chronicles the downhill slide of the Oscars and Hollywood box office receipts. One of the main reasons it's happening, as you know, is Hollywood got so political that a place where we used to go for an escape from issues now became a place where we can't avoid them. That's why Top Gun was so popular, Brian. We were just desperate to see a guy on a plane who wasn't being forced to wear a mask. Like, God, this is amazing.
Now, I didn't believe you had a special, so that's why you brought a clip.
I did.
So go ahead. Anything need to be set up for this?
This is just going to give you a little background on what people's takeaway was from the, like, ideological direction Hollywood's gone in the last few years. Give it a go.
I'll tell you what happened to Hollywood and what happened to Hollywood is. That became a big dumpster fire.
What happened to Hollywood is I think the ideology from one side has completely infiltrated the whole culture there.
Because they're smarter than everybody else. You didn't know that?
I don't know if there's a blacklist going on with conservatives in Hollywood just because my lack of roles has always been due to my lack of acting ability.
That was the great Jim Norton.
Right.
But this is the truth, okay? Nobody wants to get a lecture on inequality from a woman who's wearing a dress that costs more than their house.
Right.
Okay? The same thing about a guy. You make $30 million a year to pretend you're a cop while cops are underfunded. Nobody asked for that. And that's the scam of Hollywood. This is the one piece of advice I give them is they're blowing a good thing. Hollywood actors are famous. Why? Because they hit the genetic lottery. They're so good looking, we're willing to pay $20 for a popcorn to watch them recite words that were written by an ugly person. Okay? I know, I've been in those writers' rooms.
Right.
So they should just stick to being pretty and reading the words out of the prompter and giving us the escape.
You know what I find interesting? They started cancel culture, and now it's blowing up in their face from they have to have diverse staff.
Yep.
Not the best lighting person, not the best key grip, not the best shooter.
No,
the
ma'am.
one that fits the categories.
Yes.
And they can't even cast a movie.
And that's why the movies suck, okay? We just wanted to go to marvel at these wonderful talents that were gorgeous. Think about Tom Cruise is so attractive to women, and probably men, that he's on his 8th Mission Impossible, and we haven't even questioned the logic of that title.
Right.
If you've pulled it off 7 times, the mission's not that impossible. How about fairly difficult, but maybe, you know?
Now, you know I did the history of Hollywood. Is this
Yes.
the answer to my series?
It's a
Did you find
clapback.
out I was getting too much.
It's called the first official Fox Nation clapback. They were like, you know what, Kilmeade's getting chippy. Let's counter this with a Fela documentary. And here we are.
So you just made news.
Well, this is the East Coast, West Coast battle now. You
Right.
could be Tupac, I'll be Biggie.
In a way. I'm not really sure what you mean because we're both from the East Coast. And I don't rap like I used to. Jimmy, it's great to see you.
The best.
Good luck on your radio show today.
They'll get theirs. Thanks, buddy.
What do you mean? Okay.
Well, you know, I've got an opening act who's very strong. So either way, it's going to be fine.
Fantastic. All right, Jimmy, with your permission, I'd like to promote your series one more time.
Let's go.
Death of Hollywood, a 4-part series available on Fox Nation, hosted by
the great Jimmy Failure.